I am Jenny Spencer. I am so proud to serve Ward 15 on Cleveland City Council, and I want to wish my ward and the entire city of Cleveland happy Women's History Month. I was motivated to run for city council because I had lived in Ward 15 for over 14 years, and I had had the chance to get to know the community really well at that point. And the other reason I ran for office is because I really believe that government is systems level change. So it's about helping people and making a difference in people's lives, but it's about changing the systems that impact people's lives. I'm so proud and honored to serve our neighborhoods. We're the Cadell neighborhood, the Detroit Shoreway neighborhood, and the Edgewater neighborhood, as well as a bit of Ohio City and a bit of Stockyards. And one thing that keeps me up at night and really made me want to run for office is we have a once-in-a-generation opportunity to make sure that we're building a mixed income community. And what I mean by that is housing prices. So we are so proud of our diversity. It is absolutely what gives our community its identity and sense of purpose, and this belief that everyone in our community can thrive together. But we need to make sure that we have housing available at a wide variety of price points for everybody. So we've begun to see some private investment coming into Ward 15, which is great. So my passion and my commitment is to advocate for and attract as much new investment as possible on the affordable housing side. I'm also passionate about what I call aging in place housing, which basically means that no matter what your physical ability level is or whatever physical ability needs you have, you can live in that house throughout an entire life cycle, or you could have multi-generational living. So I think to build an equitable and just Ward 15 and to ensure that we are diverse and mixed income far into the future, it is so important that we have more affordable housing, more middle market housing, and that we also have aging in place housing. So I would say that housing is my number one issue, and something that I've really had to learn a lot about since taking office that surprised me is gun violence, and that's something that's really hard to take on. But I hear from residents all the time about it's not okay that we hear gunshots in our neighborhoods, and I think all members of council would agree with that. None of us think that is okay. We all need to be safe in our own communities, and I'm beginning to work with other council members on what are the root causes of violence, but also just taking on gun violence as directly as we can as a city government. One thing the public should know is that the state of Ohio has been moving in the wrong direction. We've passed some concealed carry, the state of Ohio and our governor approved what's called concealed carry without a permit legislation as one example, which means that you can carry a gun into a business establishment without a license to do that. And I've had business owners in my ward tell me that they're now fearful, way more than they were before. So we definitely know that this is not moving in the right direction, and I look forward to working with my passionate and brilliant colleagues here on Cleveland City Council to make sure that we're all safe in our neighborhoods. I love this question about women that I personally admire and that so many of us admire. And of course I have to start with my own mom, because her name is Flo Worth, and I think it's really about living your values. And I really had, growing up, a chance to see that demonstrated in my day-to-day life. I knew what my mom stood for, I knew what she cared about, and how she demonstrated that in her day-to-day actions and choices. And now that she's retired, she is a passionate advocate. She does voter registration. She stands up for social justice and racial justice. And so getting to grow up around someone like that who's clear in their values and carries them out in their day-to-day life was such a gift. So shouting out my mom, Flo. And on national stage, when I first heard about the topic we wanted to cover tonight, the first person who came to mind was Stacey Abrams. If you think about the 2020 presidential election, and no one would have believed that the state of Georgia could have changed the course of history and elected Joe Biden as president. And Stacey Abrams had that vision, and I think she stayed strong and powered through. And even when people doubted, she knew that with grassroots community organizing and with lifting up the voices of people who do not typically participate in the process, she knew she could change the world. and she did. I mean, it's crazy to think about what our world might be or what direction we might have gone in if President Biden hadn't gotten elected. Georgia was that make or break, and that's all about Stacey Abrams. For the next generation, especially of any young women and those who identify as female, any of you who are thinking about public service, thinking of running for office, or who you want to make a difference in your communities, first of all, know that you are the future. We believe in you. We need you to be strong and thrive and become and lead us. We want to hear from you. If you are a CMSD student, I'd love to speak with you directly insofar as if you have not heard of Civics 2.0, if you are a CMSD high school student, please look up Civics 2.0. It is this fabulous after-school opportunity. It's kind of like work study, but you really get your hands directly involved in government and voting and systems change, and it's really a powerful program, a powerful concept. I'm learning more about it as we speak, so if I could do high school all over again, I would definitely do Civics 2.0. So cheers to CMSD for having Civics 2.0 as part of its schools. And then the last thing I'll say is, like I said, we would love to hear from you. Young people mean so much to us. Cleveland City Council has a public comment period at the very beginning of all of our council meetings. The first half an hour of our meeting is set aside to hear from members of the public, and anyone can sign up to speak for 3 minutes on a topic that means something to them. The times we've had young people come and speak to us on council are always the most memorable. So if you go to clevelandcitycouncil.org, it's real easy to find it on our website. Just click on public comment, it tells you how to sign up, and I know that we can't wait to meet you.